Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. And of course, you know me as the Shadow Seeker. And I will be doing a small mini reading, general reading for my beautiful collective. I do want to just talk a little bit about why there was no video last week. I'm not sure about you, but I definitely am a mirror for a lot of people's energies, and I really pick up on a lot of people's energies very easily. It's just some sort of natural gift that I possess. And I really have been feeling really overwhelmed. So it's not just what's going on with me in my personal life, but it's also with the energies that I'm picking up on this specific collective. I really feel like a lot of that energy has sort of subsided or died down now because I do feel a lot better, but I still feel really drained actually. And it could still be some lingering energies from the collective or some of the phenomenon that we've had, the spiritual astronomical phenomenon, excuse me, that we've had. And so I just wanted to say, I do hope that everyone is doing well. And of course, I'm sending lots of love, light, and happiness. But I'm definitely not up to full capacity as far as energy goes. So I do intend to do a very small reading here. But of course, it is almost the end of the month. And I do want to look into the energies that we will be walking into in July. But that is for another video. So without further ado, let's just jump into this one. Okay, so we have a pretty powerful start to the reading right here. And when I say powerful, it's because of the energies that I'm feeling behind the cards. Because these cards are not major arcana cards. So this is definitely everyday scenarios that the collective is facing right now. But we have four cards to open up the reading. We have the Queen of Swords, the Five of Swords, Four of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. So we got two fives here, and then we have these other cards. Now, what's really interesting and what really makes this powerful is that these cards came out what I call inverted. And I know inverted usually means like reversed. A lot of readers will interpret it as reversed, but they actually came out horizontal. So whenever that usually happens in the type of readings that I do, I read the cards with both energies being upright and being reversed. And so what I am feeling right here primarily is heavy tension. And the reason why I say that is because we have these three sword cards, and swords talk about, your thoughts and your thought processes and your mind. And they also represent tension. And so the collective right now is experiencing a lot of tension going on right now. I'm sensing a lot of crossroad energy between discernment and trying to cut through emotional fog or retreating into cynicism or defensiveness over analyzing things. I'm sensing a fear of being vulnerable and misunderstood, but this is for a very small part of the collective, not overall. And there's also this energy of like a push pull type of energy where someone is really wanting peace and healing, but they're afraid to really truly sit within stillness in order to receive that healing. Some people are really, numbing themselves right now, distracting themselves to avoid some sort of grief or truth about something. And there's this energy about someone being in this like saboteur type of energy where they feel like they're always, setting themselves up. But there's also something about pride. There's also something about a strong conflict, this need to feel right when it comes to something. And it's centered around deeper wounds. So that's really heavy for a lot of people. But I'm really sensing right now that we're all in this liminal space, this emotional purgatory where mental patterns, grief, feelings of abandonment, these things are really coming up right now. But they're coming up because Spirit is asking us to purge this, not, necessarily sit with it and hold on to it. You're really being asked right now to really face a lot of uncomfortable truths about something in your everyday 3D life. And a lot of this feels like self-worth energy. A lot of it feels like it's regarding a lot of relationship type of energy. And, this can be any type of relationship, love, family, friends, just something general. And I'm feeling a lot of like isolated energy as well. So right now, Spirit is really wanting you to reclaim your voice, your truth, without defaulting to cold detachment or intellectual bypassing, to really surrender right now into stillness and really let your body really, heal, let your soul heal is what it really feels like as well. And really just, recognizing a lot of what's going on in your 3D, avenue right now, because I'm just sensing a lot of energy really being misplaced or displaced, even where you're not really facing certain truths that are happening right now in the 3D. So, this is really a time where it feels like Spirit is wanting you to really recalibrate a lot of this energy that's going on right now. Okay, so this is interesting right here. As I drew this card, I set out the intention for Spirit, asking what it is right now that we're all holding on to. And I got the High Priestess for everyone here. And this is really interesting energy because, the High Priestess is such a beautiful card. It really has a beautiful message and story behind it. And so for us to hold on to something right now, for what we're clinging onto, it's this inner knowing and not fully trusting or acting on it. So right now, we're very highly intuitive about something that's going on within us when it comes to emotions, secrets, or spiritual awareness, or something that really is like related to divine feminine energy. And I'm really getting this thread of energy too about something being withheld as far as some sort of truth, a truth that you have been nudged towards, where you need to actually open your eyes and see it and actually honor it instead of, having words left unsaid or truths that are buried deep out of fear and judgment and loss. And it just feels like with this thread of energy that instead of seeking clarity, a lot of people in the collective are choosing to stay in some sort of fog because it's like the mystery feels safer than vulnerability. And it's like this conflict between, the heart and the head right now, So I'm sensing a lot of people are really gravitating towards old cycles. And, it's like you're trying to spiritually bypass something right now. But this strong nudge that I'm sensing, you're receiving signs about something, about how you need to handle something and do something, but you're choosing to ignore those signs because it's like you're just waiting for something. And it almost feels like you're aimlessly or endlessly waiting on something. And, you know, depending on what that is, it just doesn't feel healthy, honestly. And it feels like instead of trying to wait, you need to really honor whatever it is that Spirit is clearly laying out for you. So this is really, really interesting. And I'd really don't, I really hate to say this, but I really don't have the energy to really dive fully deep into it. But it just feels like something that you already know, honestly. It feels like something that you've already been experiencing for quite a while. So this is something that almost feels like a repeating cycle in a sense, but this is definitely something major because this is the only major arcana card that we've drawn. So this is really, really, interesting energies here. So I'm actually going to draw just one last tarot card. Okay, and the final tarot card in the reading is the Knight of Pentacles in the upright position. So this definitely makes a lot of sense for me on what I'm feeling. And what Spirit is saying here is, in order to release this truth, this sacred silence, this inner wisdom, that you have. The high priestess, really dwells in stillness when it comes to the inner world, but the Knight of Pentacles actually brings that hidden form and structure through consistent action, grounded rituals, and the trust in, longevity. And so this is spirit really saying take small, consistent steps and to use discipline and dedication in order to release what it is that you already know, because whatever this is that you're holding on to so tightly that you already know, it's going to take like baby steps for you to do it. Rome wasn't built in a day. So, your average everyday castle wasn't built in a day. And honestly, it's going to take time for you to really, deliberately and faithfully, really let go of whatever this is that you're guarding, is what this feels like. It's like a guarded type of energy as well. So it's going to take time, just honor how you're feeling, honor where you are right now and where you're going. And, again, Rome wasn't built in the day. So just take your time with it, sit with it and just really, analyze it for what it is. Because honestly, deep down inside, what you need to do to get to the next step, the next level, to where you want to be with whatever your situation is. So, you definitely have it in you. You really do. And I'm really feeling this heavily for many of us in the collective. And it's looking really different for everyone in the collective. But again, I just, can't really get into specifics right now because of the type of energy that I'm actually feeling when it comes to, doing a prolonged reading. I really think a lot of it has to do with the fact that recently I've done so many personal readings for people. And so I haven't really done a collective reading actually in a while. And so that actually probably is contributing to a lot of the drain that I actually was feeling. So it really is, essential for us to remember our mindfulness practices. That's something that I always say, usually in every video. So, okay. But to conclude the reading, we will draw one oracle card. Okay, and the final card says, consider the options. It says that you've narrowed your focus to one desired outcome, and you might be missing a bigger opportunity. Open up and let the universe send the highest possible result. So that is definitely a beautiful place to end this reading. I do want to thank everyone for extending their warm, beautiful, high vibrational energy to the reading and helping to co-create the messages here. And thank you too for being patient with me. And of course, there will be more readings, and I will do my best to upload more consistently. But every so often, you do have to recharge your batteries. And last week was definitely for me to definitely do just that. So I definitely recommend that if you're feeling any sort of draining energy or anyone siphoning your energy or anything that's really bringing you down or keeping you stressed or just overworked, overwhelmed, just don't forget your mindfulness practices. And with that said, I am sending everyone lots of love, light, and happiness. And I do hope you have a wonderful remainder of your day, and I will see you in the next video.